The DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is John the Scripter, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. My name is Kurt Cross. I am right here with you. We are at DMV Live at DeMatha in Hyattsville, Maryland. All-day basketball, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've already had 3 games. We had a couple that went to overtime. I have a coach from a school that just won an overtime game with a player whom I used to call his games, Mr. Finley Billy, I heard, hit that 3. And right now we have none other than Mr. Sean Tracy joining us. Mr. Tracy.
How you doing, sir?
I don't know if I've called you Mr. Tracy before.
We go way back. Yeah, definitely. This is a new relationship.
Sean, let's talk about this. First of all, how old are you, if you don't mind saying?
42.
42.
Uh-oh.
So my relationship with you started maybe 30 or more years ago.
30 years ago.
I don't know. What year did you start over there at the Boys Club?
Ooh, about 10 or 11.
10 or 11? So 30,
Yeah.
31, 32 years ago
Wow.
is when I met you. It brings me extreme... I'm proud of this guy. I've known him since he was a kid. Mr. Sean Tracy.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
man is in tears. This is amazing. This is good stuff. So
I used to coach this guy years ago. And the best thing we can do, when I didn't even know what I was doing, coaching you. So if that's 30 years ago, I'm 23 years old. I'm coaching, 22, because I'm about to be 53. I'm coaching this guy, and I'm coaching a bunch of kids. But you never know the stories of the kids that you're going to coach and how they grow up. He's got 3 girls. I've seen him as a father, as a very successful basketball coach at BCC. And, you know, there's some people from your time at the Takoma Park Boys and Girls Club who didn't make it.
No.
I know some names of some kids who are not with us anymore. But I've seen Sean go from, you played wide receiver or tight end, I can't remember.
I played everything. Receiver, running back, a little bit of quarterback.
Right?
Wherever y'all needed me.
I love it.
And we had this kid, and I had him on the football side, so I cannot be responsible for his basketball efforts. I think did you play full-time at Bullis, or?
No, so started off at BCC.
All right.
And then after my junior year, transferred to Bullis and played 2 years under Mike Hibbs.
And then you went.
And played at Drake
Right.
University.
And were you with Tutu and all them?
Tutu, Yinka, Shane.
Yes.
The whole crew.
Yes, you had the whole crew. Daniel Potts, was he with you?
That was my guy.
Where's he now? I heard he has a son that
He
plays.
has a son
that balls.
That balls at Blair.
Right, that's Tony Langley told me that.
Yep.
That's the name,
Yep.
right?
Oh, man.
Tony taught me everything I know.
Me too.
But so Sean has coached, and now you're taking a different path. You're taking a job over at Bullis after being at BCC for, God, how long?
13 years.
Wow.
Okay.
13
Lucky
years.
13.
Just for the record, he has my number. I had to find out off Instagram that he's leaving BCC. Can we talk about that move and why?
Yeah. Just kind of happened.
Okay.
It's similar to the story of me ending up at Bullis as a player. Some things just happened. So my daughter is going to the 5th grade. She got accepted. And I saw that they had a teaching opening. So I said, let me just apply and see.
Sure.
I've been in the county for 15 years as a teacher.
Yeah.
And so just was looking for something new
Yeah.
start. And, both places being home, BCC and Bullis, I said, I was just joking saying I'm a homebody. I like home. So got the job, and then I, reached out to Coach Kelly and just asked, if I can help out in any capacity. So not officially on the coaching staff, but just helping out any way I can.
All right, and so it's a beautiful campus over there.
Oh, yes.
And what father would not want to provide whatever opportunity they can for their child? Our kids are in private school, and she teaches public school. So we don't knock the public school system, but there are just certain opportunities available in the public school, private school sector.
Right.
So you're going to be taking your daughter to a beautiful campus, and that's not fair. He doesn't really have to take her to school. He's going anyway.
Right, it makes it easy. So it was a sweet situation. Wife doesn't have to drop her off in the morning. It's just one-stop shop. Dad drops off in the morning and picks up, and we're coming home.
You live in the county?
Yeah, right in Silver Spring.
So
Silver Spring.
You good? You didn't go far. You
Didn't go
always
far.
been.
Didn't
Were
go
you
far.
a Rosemary kid?
Rosemary.
Oh my
Hey.
God! So that's like you said. That's Tutu. That's Yinka. That's everybody. Okay. All right. So I assume that the hope is at some point we'll do this again, like the coaching thing, like blah blah blah.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Okay.
In due time.
How tough was it to leave BCC?
It was bittersweet. Like I
Okay.
said, went there as a student, coached there for a number of years, had a great group of seniors that I had to leave behind. So it was bittersweet. It was a difficult decision, but like I said, sometimes just got to move on and new chapter, next chapter.
New opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Why coaching? Why did you get into it at all?
Man, probably because of guys like you.
Man, I was going to give him a hard time for not saying that. He did say it, though.
Man, whether it was you, I had some great coaches, Coach Tony.
Right.
Just trying to give back, stay connected to the game, and do what you all did for me for the next generation.
That's awesome.
I did it because I wasn't a great player, but I still wanted to be around the game. That's why I coach football.
Well,
Actually,
and I was going to say, not all great players turn out to be great coaches.
Phil Jackson's a great coach. He wasn't a great player.
Right. So I studied the craft and I put my work in to make sure that I'm giving these guys the best opportunity that they can get.
So how I ended up on that field in Takoma Park was my ex-brother-in-law. My sister was married prior to now. You may not have had him, might have been before your time. His name is Derek. And he was coaching because he knows, Riley Crawford and all them.
Yeah.
So he was with them over at Blair. But he was coaching, said, we need some help. You want to come up? I rode my bike from DC up to the field, Lee Jordan Athletic Field, and I just started coaching. It was born in 1990, the fall of 1990. That's when we started. It was $25 for y'all to play.
Hey, look, it's funny that you say that, and I never heard that story. I talk about the culture of youth sports today and how different it is, because I have 3 daughters, and they play soccer, they play tennis, and of course I coach them in basketball. But I always tell the parents, like, I played for Takoma Park, Rosemary Hills. It was $25 in a permission slip.
That's it.
Right.
And that was it. And now it's
you have to go get weighed in.
$1,500
Right.
for a season. So times have changed. Not knocking youth sports, but it's changed a lot. It's big business. So
I will tell you this. Our son, he's a good basketball player. I will not be the parent who says my son's elite and this, that, and that. He's a good basketball player. He plays over at Landon. No problem. There was a program who shall remain nameless who wanted him to play for them for AAU. Mm-hmm. These fools wanted $4,000 for a season.
sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Besides a real nice jersey and the chance to get your ass whipped all up and down the East Coast, and he's played for some programs where literally the jersey is more important than coaches showing up to practice.
100%.
Because it's a cool looking jersey. I ended up coaching some of those practices. I don't even coach boys basketball. I coach boys football is what I coached, and girls basketball. You and I did we ever connect though with the fact that Ryan Ingalls was my assistant at Rockville?
Yes, I remember. We talked briefly about it. But
And Rockville made a mistake by not making her the head coach. They made a mistake.
And now look at her.
After
Incredible.
her and Sissy over at Clarksburg, they're the tops in the county.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan does more she doesn't have your Bishop McNamara, your Bullis, your St. John's girls.
No.
She does so much more. I remember one year she went to the States. I swear she ain't had nobody that was 6 feet tall.
No.
But she finds a
I
way.
don't know how she does. I mean, great coaching. The girls buy in.
Right.
And they win year after year.
Now, Sean, I don't want to put you on the spot. You just tell me what you can and cannot answer.
Okay, here we go.
It's
exciting.
I'm not necessarily pleased with what I see in the AAU scene. Talk to me about that.
I would have to agree. There are some great programs. I'll just start with that.
Yes.
And there are some not so great programs. And so I think because it's become big business and then everybody just starts a team.
Right.
And they don't always develop the kids. And so it becomes just a money grab. But, like I said, I'm not going to call anybody out.
Right.
But, like I said, there's some great programs, great coaches. But I'm not a big fan of the culture overall.
Well, I'm not a fan.
And then they charge you an arm and a leg to get into the tournament.
To watch your kid play.
To watch,
Yeah.
my daughter's not at that level yet. I don't know if she'll get to that level, but I'm hearing crazy $90 for a weekend pass.
Yes.
Then you got to pay for parking, and it's become too much.
Not to mention the fact that you drove all the way to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Right.
So you in a hotel. What's up, Paula?
Right, and they promise the parents the world, or the parents buy in so much because they want so much for their kids.
Right.
And the parents are like all in. And
I saw a story 3 or 4 years ago.
Not everybody's going to make it.
Yeah, but they won't. But I saw a story 3 or 4 years ago where you've got parents paying upwards of $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year between going. You go to Orlando this weekend, you go to Chapel Hill one weekend, you go to Fort Worth, Texas the next weekend, and all that's great. But Sean, there are only so many Division I scholarships.
Yeah.
Right.
And there are only so many guys. There's 450 jobs in the NBA. Not everyone retires every year. Each team picks up 1 or 2 guys, and you're battling with what happens overseas, and you're battling with the G League, right? And parents want these scholarships, and, first of all, I need parents to let the kids run their race, number one. We had a talk with our daughter, who I think is a great basketball player. 3-4 years ago, we were having breakfast. She's like, I don't want to play Division I basketball. It's good that you know now.
Right.
It's good that you know now because it is work. It is work.
It's a job.
We know Division I athletes who during COVID, they had to check in with their coach. They had to make sure they punched the clock at a library and at a gym.
Oh, yeah.
And they sent them meal cards because you got to eat this. And it's a job. You played college ball.
Yeah.
And it was different when you played, but it was still, it's like a job.
And to that point, I didn't even play AAU. I played for Coach Tony.
Right.
I did not play AAU in high school and still manage. Now, again, times have changed, but, to your point, I get, it's big exposure.
Right.
But at a certain age, you don't need to be traveling all over the country in the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th grade.
Something about still being a kid?
Yeah, right.
Imagine that.
Well, Paul and I know our son, and we're not the parents who brag. Every little kid can do this. When my son was 7 years old playing rec ball, the scores were like 45-2, and he would have 40 of those points. But then at some point it plateaus and everybody starts to get that good.
Right.
Every kid can do that.
Right.
And now in high school, he's a very good defender. He can shoot the 3-ball well. Needs to work on his handle some, but he's a good player. Right. He's not elite. Right. And what we see on this floor in some of these programs is elite. But like you said, Paula, it concerns me that some parents, they want more for the kid than the kid wants, and it's a big commitment. And I know there's some programs that are not sanctioned, but they're charging AAU money. Well, are you in the AAU clearinghouse?
Yeah.
Are you doing all this stuff? Are they teaching you about college? Because, Sean, most of the kids that I see on these courts will go pro in something other than basketball.
Oh, certainly.
They will. So are we preparing these young people to be the next surgeon, or to manage an office building, or to get into real estate, or to, manage a restaurant? I don't know. And I'm not going to ask you to do this. I'm just going to say in my own words, there are some schools out here who try to produce players, and they're basketball factories, not schools. Bullis is not one of those schools. They are a storied program that has been around for years in a school where, kids are choosing Landon or Bullis. Those are the choices out there. So, we're talking about schools that really produce academically. As a father, you bring 3 girls into this gym. What's that been like?
Girl dad.
Yeah, you are.
No, I love it. Wouldn't trade it for the world. And I did not want to coach them, but because they see me coaching and how much time I spend with the guys, they asked me to coach the rec team. So I've been coaching my oldest, who's 10, and then my middle daughter, who is 7. But no, it's fun. They get to come into the gym and just hang out and be with Dad and watch some good basketball. So
I love
it's a good family affair.
I'm going to tell you, if not now, in a few years, you're going to love that. Because my daughter and my son were always in the gym when I coached. From the cradle. From the cradle, they were in the gym. And all we do, much to her dismay sometimes, is all we do is want to hoop. All we want to do is watch basketball 24/7. It could be FIBA, some team from Turkey. It don't matter. It could be some team from Russia I've never seen before. We're watching NBA TV all day, and they love being in this gym. And I get to share the game I love with my kids. And I hope you get to do that. I'm podcasting about my favorite sport. I can get to bring anybody I want. I can't say his name, at your school, your coach, Kelly.
Bruce.
I had Bruce Kelly on here. We get everybody on here. So, look, thank you for your time. It's time to go back. Are the girls here? I didn't see them.
They're not with me today.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, get to those girls. Maybe buy them some ice cream or something like that.
That solves everything.
Are y'all playing tomorrow?
We do. Yep. We play tomorrow. I think we have Paul the 6th.
Are you here or?
We're here. Yep.
Paul the 6th. That's a big one.
It should be fun.
That's a big one. Folks, this is Sean Tracy. I coached him 30 plus years ago. I've seen him kind of grow up. I mean, I'm not like, I didn't see you in college, but I've seen the man grow up and impact the game the way we would want a young man to impact the game. He stayed home. He's here in Montgomery County, and he's doing for his young people, hopefully what we did for ours. This is the DMV Hoops Podcast. Sean, how can they find Bullis Athletics? I guess it's Bullis Athletics on Instagram,
I'm sure
Twitter?
it is. I'm not certain, but Bullis Athletics.
Just search it.
Search it. Coach Bruce Kelly.
Sean, thanks so much for being here, brother.
Thank you, Curtis.
All right.
The DMV Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kirk Cross, featuring Adam Crain. Thanks for listening.